Is it always this bumpy?
Well, a number of passengers have left their lunch up here. I can open a snack bar.
So I want to start by asking your character of Madeline Harris. I would love to know just a little bit about who she is and what she does in order to maintain her composure in such a high stress environment.
Well, I mean, that is one of the kind of key things, you know, in order to be a state marshal, is that you keep your composure and in situations that are very, very difficult. I mean, it is kind of one of the number one, you know, part of your responsibility as a state marshal. It is, you know, it's very important to kind of stay calm and to, you know, address the situation in the best possible way without it escalating into something that you don't want it to escalate to. Whereas, and in this film, it's kind of out of her control, of course, what happens. But she is responsible for, you know, arresting federal subjects and escorting them from one place to another. So she is very, you know, so responsible for this person. And, you know, as the film plays out, you discover that she, you know, her career has had some kind of ups and downs. So this one, she's really needing to prove herself to her peers and her seniors in order to, you know, get the job done and to show that she is really capable. And of course she is. There is a huge spanner that's thrown in the works, and she's really challenged and she has to, you know, find a way out of it. So it's an incredible part because she, you know, I loved it when I first read it. I just thought, wow, this, you know, hadn't read anything like this before. And I've got so much respect for state marshals and what they do. And oh my God, if any of them were put in this type of situation, you know, it's hats off to anyone who does it.
Yeah, and it goes beyond the characteristics too, because you're in such a unique circumstance as an actor. You're starring opposite basically only two other screen partners, in Mark and Topher, and basically the entire film takes place in this plane. What were some of the challenges that you faced, and maybe even luxuries of only working with two other people and also only really being in one setting?
Yeah, it sort of had both. I mean, I really loved that it had this almost like a play. It was just three characters in this one setting for 90 minutes. I mean, it's a really unusual script to read. And the challenges were kind of, we were, you know, the minute we saw the plane and stepped up onto the plane and you realize you can't stand upright, it's like 4 foot. You can't, you know, there's very little that you can do on it. We, from day one, we just had time to sort of explore what we could actually do and how much physically we could do. And it had such a brilliant creative team on this, amazingly talented people, you know, across the special effects, the hydraulics of the plane. I mean, all of it was just incredible. So as an actor, all you had to do really was your job and navigate, you know, how you play out these moments. The fight sequences were a challenge because, of course, they are in such a small space. But Mark has such a great stunt team who he has such a brilliant shorthand with, who choreographed them all really, really well. So it was really exciting. The whole thing was just really fun to be part of.
Yeah, very well said. Before I let you go, I obviously know your work in Downton Abbey from over the years. I know you got the third film in the trilogy coming out later this year. Was there any sense of like finality when you were shooting that? Did it feel like the end of a franchise, or do you think there's still more to explore?
I think with anything, a show that's loved that much, I think there's probably more to explore in the future. But for now, it was the final film. So going into it, knowing that it was the last one, we really relished every minute. And we're such a family, you know, we've been doing this for 15 years. So it was, it was emotional, you know, knowing that this would be the last.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to that film in the future, but in the immediate future, we got Flight Risk coming out very, very soon. Michelle, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Thanks, Liam.
Y'all need a pilot?